Hello, everyone. I'd like to do a video today because I just watched an interview by a good friend who is a beautiful soul, and she will surely help many people. And she inspired me to do this video. I will put links about her video in the description box below if you're interested. I think it's a very deep conversation she's having with JCK, and that it can help many. I hope you do check it out. But what she brought up that made me think of my own story is that she talks about anger. And then it brought very much to life the memory of how painful it is to deal with anger. In fact, we are taught to shove it down and to hide it. When I was young, I believed I couldn't afford anger. And it was my job to diffuse situations. And that's why I became a diplomat. And what does that mean? That I thought that if I were to indulge my anger, I would only tip things over and make them even worse, and things could explode around me. Whereas if I just ignored it and kept a level head, then I could improve things. So I did learn to go from problem to solution without paying attention to pesky emotions like anger, which was a feeling I couldn't afford, or so I thought. It is very painful to be here on this planet. And we are taught that emotions are problematic, especially what we label as negative emotions, which really are the emotions that we should be paying most attention to. But it is painful to be here. And it becomes even more so when we keep denying what our soul and our body are telling us. And they speak to us all the time. So once we start doing the work, we may shed tears that should have been shed 50 years ago, 30 years ago, but we never allowed ourselves to shed. So this is not going to look pretty. In fact, it may be quite ugly at times. When I started feeling my anger, which happened by itself, basically the anger at some point became so huge within me that it took over my entire life. And I shut down completely. I went into what I call my anger strike. I refused to do anything. I was just angry with everyone, with the entire world, and especially with myself. So when you have denied yourself for so long, things will not be smooth and under control. And the point is, they're not meant to be. Everything has to collapse. The house of cards has to collapse before we can move forward. It is important to let this happen. It's painful, of course it is, but it comes up when we are ready to take it, and that's the important thing. When we shut down these feelings, we might have been young, or we might have been in situations where it truly felt unsafe to look at these emotions or to allow ourselves to express these emotions, especially around other people. And there comes a time where we realize these emotions coming up, and that's a signal that it is now safer to look at them. And it is important that we do, because if we don't, what that does is it removes the ability that we have to see the sheer beauty around us. We end up missing out on life. I find myself sometimes raising my voice with my daughter. And this gives me so much pain. And I realize that it's not about her. It's that I am in my own world when this happens. It's because I am so stressed or so worried about something that I'm not even reacting to her. She just happens to be there. And this is how we continue and recreate the cycle of trauma that happens. And we end up breaking the next generation, just like we've been broken through ignorance. We don't do this on purpose. We are just left resourceless. We don't know how to cope with these things. We've never been shown how to cope with these things. We have to go inside and find our own way. It is important to do this. It will be painful, but this is not pain that is coming up from now. It's pain that's coming up from decades. Sometimes, sorry, it's pain that's overdue. And if that happens, let it happen. Let it come up. Let the ugliness come up. Let the ugly feelings come up. Because our body needs to cleanse. These tears need to be shed. These tears are into helping us remove trauma and hurt and integrate what's left of it, the lessons. It is very important that we are not so concerned with things look like. May the pieces fall where they may. Let them fall where they may. The point is, it's time. It is time. The world has changed. The old paradigms are no longer going to serve us. We are here to become what we were always supposed to be. We are the chain breakers. We are the people who are resetting generations, even millennia of trauma. Things that our parents, our grandparents didn't have the tools to handle. We have the tools to handle. This is why we even have the ability to talk about these things. We're all afraid. We're all concerned with what people are going to think of us. But at the end of the day, as you embrace your power, you'll realize that people will respond to your authenticity, to your power. We all have this inner power, and we have been the ones pushing it down, shoving all this power down, hiding it, because we are afraid of how powerful we could be. We've always been taught that if you are the tall poppy, you will be cut down. This fear encompasses everything we do. We are always concerned about standing out. We're always concerned that should we not keep ourselves small, something bad is going to happen. We're not crazy for thinking this. We've been burned at the stake. We have been tortured to death. We have been shunned in past lives for doing this. Of course, we have every reason to be afraid. There is no shame in being afraid. The entire world is afraid. But we have a choice now, and the choice is upon us. We can keep doing that, or we can take charge of our lives. And the time is now. All the energies are pushing us to do this because victory is going to be ours. We are here to shine. We were born at this time for a very special reason. If you are watching this video, I am talking to you. There are no coincidences. If you're watching this video, this is your clarion call. It is time. And we are victorious. We are going to do this. We already had everything we need. For some of us, the call has come from diseases. I've had cancer, and that woke me up. Just so happens, my friend Mel, who I was talking about at the beginning of the video, she's also had cancer. And the reason she had cancer, she was told, is because she's taking one for the team, meaning nobody else in her line had the ability to survive it. She has the tools. And why does she have the tools? Because she's done the work. And you have done the work as well. If you're watching this, it's because you've done the work and you're ready to take things to the next level. I am here for you. I do hope you reach out. And I want to continue this conversation because it is time, especially for the women out there, for everyone really, but especially for the women. We are changing history. We are changing the world. We are not going to be able to step into our power unless we do this work. Fear is the past. We are living in the past. It is now time to step into the future. And I wish you the best. And I hope to see you again.